Hey there, I'm Mad, and this is the Mining Guide. We will be covering gear, tools, perks, buffs, node information, useful websites, farming routes, and locations. I hope you enjoy. To start, there are 4 sets of mining gear that have set stats, and at 700 gear score, the max stats are 32 strength and 5.6% luck, but these stats can be lowered depending on the gear score of the items. Now, the best in slot set is a 700 gear score crafted set, because it also has a yield on it. This set can only be crafted from a pattern found in the aptitude boxes, and each craft requires 1 pattern, meaning you will need 5 patterns to make the full set, but you can also buy this armor set from other players. Now, alternatively, you can also craft armor with mining luck and strength on them, which also means you can buy these crafted items from other players. You are not forced to only use the 4 mining sets. If crafting them yourself is something you are interested in doing, you will need to obtain a shard of adderstones, which is farmed from lodestone, in order to force mining luck on the crafted gear and hope you also get strength to roll on the item as well. This process is a little RNG based, so sometimes it is more expensive than just buying the armor itself. When going with a non-set armor piece, the armor base is personal preference based on what you plan to do while mining. For example, if you plan on PvPing, you might want heavy gear with some PvP perks alongside the mining luck and strength. I personally like light gear, so I can dodge roll further between nodes. Next, you will need an amulet with adored mining luck and strength on it. You can craft it or buy it from other players. If you wish to craft it, you will need a chunk of cobalt, which is obtained from mining iron. And for the ring and earring slot, all that is required is strength. Everything else is personal preference depending on what you plan to do while you are mining. Now this brings us to the pickaxes. As you level your mining, make sure you craft or buy higher tier pickaxes as you unlock them. When getting a pickaxe, you will want to obtain one with good perks, but don't go out of your way to spend a lot of money or craft a ton to get a near perfect pickaxe until you get to Mythril pickaxes. So here is a list of perks for pickaxes. This is not all of the perks, but these are the best perks to look for depending on what your mining goals are. Now the lower level pickaxes have fewer perks, so you will want to prioritize certain perks depending on your goals. For example, if you want to level up as fast as possible, you will want to prioritize Prospector's Discipline, which requires a Steel Miner's Charm to force this perk onto a pickaxe. These can be obtained from loot chests around the world. If you want to get more items, you will want Mining Yield, which will require a Orichalcum's Miner's Charm to force this perk onto a pickaxe. These can be obtained from loot chests around the world as well. If you want rare items more often, you will want Mining Luck, which will require a Starmetal Miner's Charm to force this perk onto a pickaxe. These can be obtained from loot chests around the world. If you want to mine faster, you will want Mining Efficiency, which will require a small Traveler's Stone to force this perk onto a pickaxe. These can be obtained from just about any mob in the entire game. I would avoid the perk promotes until you get a Mythril pickaxe. Now that your tool is sorted, let's talk about your bags. This is something you do not need to do, but it can help so you can do bigger trips for more XP and more materials. So the 2 perks you're looking for here are Prospector's Burden and Extra Pockets. Both of these perks also stack, so you can have 3 bags with both perks on them. If you want to craft these, it requires either a sliver of adderstone found while mining boulders, or a sliver of cobalt found while mining iron. Now keep in mind, whenever you're crafting any gear, the value of the perks and stats on the gear are determined by the gear score of the item. So when you craft gear, you want to craft as high of a gear score as you can, but don't break the bank. If it's starter gear, either buy cheap stuff from players or just make simple crafts. Wait until you are fully leveled before thinking about crafting or buying anything expensive. Now that all the gear is out of the way, let's talk about buffs. We have potions, foods, trophies, music, PvP, and territory buffs. The potion is called a proficiency boost, and there are 4 of them. Each of them will be better than the last, but the crafting costs will also get more expensive, and these will increase your yield while mining. Next, we have foods. There are 2 foods, salted roasted vegetables and crispy chicken and potatoes, and both give luck buff. Then we have trophies. Now trophies are a little different because they require you to own a house and to have paid the taxes on that house in order to obtain the buff from the trophies that are installed inside the house. You can have a total of 3 houses, and each house can have a total of 5 trophies. in each house. You can only have one of each trophy per house, but you can have the same trophy in each house, meaning you can have 3 mining trophies between 3 houses. Each trophy will give you more mining luck depending on the trophy tier. Then we have the music buffs. You can only have one active at a time, so pick the one that suits the current agenda you are working for. If you like to PvP or you want more mining luck while you are mining, if you flag PvP, you will get a 30% luck boost. Also, depending on what forts your faction controls, you will get different buffs. Also, as you level up your territory standing, you can use those levels to boost your gathering speed within that zone. And let's not forget about stat bonuses. Strength give bonuses to mining. As you can see here, the higher your strength, the more bonuses you get, which is why we want to get strength on all the pieces of gear we can. Now that we have covered all the gear and buffs, we will now move on to nodes themselves. Every gatherable in the game comes in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large. Each have their own respawn rates and quantities in correlation to their size, which means the bigger the node, the longer it takes to respawn and the more materials you get from it. Small nodes take about 8 to 12 minutes to respawn, while medium nodes take about 10 to 15 minutes, and large nodes take about 12 to 17 minutes. Each node contains rare items, anything from rare mats, perks, and items used at crafting stations to give XP. But each ore can contain gems, chunks of crystal, shards of crystal, chunks of cobalt, shards of cobalt, slivers of cobalt. Iron ore can contain Fey iron, which requires 500 luck, and void metal, which requires 1450 luck. Starmetal contains azurite chunk, which requires 1450 luck. Then Orichalcum and Mythril contain tolvium, cinnabar, void ore, all requiring 1800 luck. Each ore requires different levels to mine and track. Now that all of that is done, we can get into where you want to go mining. Here are 2 websites that are very useful in figuring out a route that works for you, because not all routes work for all people, depending on what your goals are and what you are hunting for, and also depending on how many people are also farming in those spots as well. You will want to use these 2 sites to see routes that other people have posted, or to see where nodes are, in order to make your own decision and make your own routes based on what your own needs are. I will put the websites in the description for you if you want to use them. When making or picking a route, there are a few things to keep in mind. First is starting location. What I mean by this is a starting location is very easy to get to, like by a fast travel or a city. Next is route length. This is important because if the route is too short, then by the time you make it back to the start of the route, some, if not all of the nodes might not be respawned yet. So you want to try to make your route a little less than 20 minutes. This way, you have time to empty your inventory and get back to the start of the route. Next, you will want to consider what you are focusing on farming, if you want to incorporate other items into the route or not. For example, when I go mining for iron on my route, I tend to also pick up silver, star metal, motes, and ironwood, unless I feel I have enough of these items. And if I do feel like I have enough of those items, I typically will skip the ones that I feel like I have enough of. Lastly, always keep in mind, other players tend to go for easy nodes they are passing by. So if the route you want to use is on a popular road or a highly traveled location, then those will usually be contested. Now I will show you a few of my favorite farming routes and locations. To start off, we have Everfall. I'm going to run this route for you and explain the route as we go along. To start things off, you want to head west out of Everfall. Run up the road. Once you reach Ancient City, run directly across to the opening in the wall. This is where the route begins. This is where the first deviation comes in. 1 silver and you want star metal. Head across the bridge to the left. If you do not wish for star metal and silver, you can just continue on. There's typically iron ore there by that big bear. At this point, you need to decide if you wish to get a few extra iron ore on top of the mountain or not. If you do, simply head down the road around the mountain. Make sure to crouch here. If you decided to skip the mountain, instead of wrapping around the mountain this way, you would continue moving forward from the ironwood to where we are now. If you did not wish to get more silver, simply skip this portion. If you decided against the silver, all you have to do is once you've gathered the ironwood, simply head north across the field, then continue on with the route. Get on this mountain, simply get in this corner and spam jump. At this point, you need to decide if you want Starmetal, silver, or both. If you want silver, simply jump down. If you do not, run west off the mountain. If you skip the silver ore, you would end up on this road. Once you've reached this side of the mines, you need to decide if you want to get the rest of the silver or not. If you wish to get the rest of the silver, simply jump down to your right. If you do not, continue on with the road. I'll show you where that connects in later. If you decided to skip the silver route, you would have ran down this road and ended up in the same exact position where we are now. After you've jumped off this cliff, you have to make a decision on if you want to go to the right for more iron or left to continue on with Starmetal. If you see somebody else is already mined or the nodes haven't respawned, simply go to the left down the river, start on the Starmetal. From here, head southwest until you reach the road. Once you reach the road, follow the road to the mountain. Simply jump off this cliff, out in the Ebon scale, continue on with iron if you're a high enough level to do. Once you have reached the end of the line, simply teleport back to Everfall or wherever any of your fast travels will take you. Now we will be showing the first gold route on the list. It is in the southwest corner of Weaver's Fen. To start it, simply teleport to this fast travel. Keep in mind that this gold route does have level 59 elite mobs and higher. There are typically 3 nodes on top of this and another node on this platform. Now let's show you the second gold route that also has platinum. This one is started on the east side of Great Cleave. Simply teleport to the outpost and run west. This route also contains high level monsters, so try to do this when you're a higher level. If your goal is simply to come here for platinum, simply follow this path down to the mine entrance there. If not, continue on this route, start off with gold. You can open up that passage by using the cannon. While in this cave, you can simply climb on top of any one of these scaffoldings to de-aggro the mobs. If you skip the gold in the beginning, this is the route that you would come down to enter this cave from the top. Now this brings us to the Starmetal route. You can start this route by teleporting to Weaverspin. From Weaverspin City, simply run west out of the city and around. This route can also be done in reverse from the shrine. Here is one of the Orichalcum spots. Simply teleport to this fast travel and run directly south along this road. The second Ori route starts from the same fast travel location, but you run north. Once you reach the road, follow the road to the mountain. Alternatively, there are two other Ori locations, but I will not be showing them because they require a group. First location is located here. Second location is up here. Both of these zones are completely full of Ori throughout the entire place, but almost all Ori nodes require you to have to do some sort of combat. The Mythril ores are spread out across the entire map. Here are a few notable locations. In the southeast region of Reekwater, if you teleport to this fast travel, you can jump off onto the mountain, and there's a few Mythril nodes down there. There are also a few on the side of the cliff here. On your Ori route on the right side over here, you also have Mythril on both sides. There is also Mythril in Elysium Wilds on the northeast corner along this mountain ridge. Another notable one is in the southeast corner of Cutlass, next to these fast travels in this small cave. The last few locations are a little bit more difficult to obtain because they have high level monsters to fight. One being inside the mines, second being inside of Shattered Mountains, and the third being in Eden Grove inside this small. Well, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or stop by the stream anytime. We normally go live at midnight Central Standard Time. Hope to see you then.